Hello everyone, been a long time. I know I haven't put any videos out aside from goalpost, but to be perfectly honest, aside from being kind of busy, I've been in a bit of a slump actually. Just trying to struggle to keep things fresh, and I just don't want to repeat myself so much, and that's why I don't really want to try and crank out videos about the same thing every so often. But every so often, some points need to be driven home, and I'm still hard at work at things like there's a couple of articles on AVFM that I'm still working on, and I'm busy with just other things at the home, and then I've been finding time to relax when I can, like right now, which actually turns out to be a decent opportunity to make a video outside of my dark desk area. It's actually kind of nice. Anyway, enough small talk, let's get down to the video. So, anyone who knows me knows that I'm no supporter of feminism. No matter what wave, what iteration, what degree, no matter what kind of feminism, no form of it fails to demonize men by definition. So it should be a given that I can't give any kind of support to it. Most of you know this, but I mentioned this in case some people still haven't gotten it. Now that this is clarified, I will say this. Feminism is not the estimate of the problems in the world. It's not the first problem, even. As pervasive and insidious and influential it has been to wreck the world's state of affairs, especially regarding men, it is a branch and a symptom of the real problem. The answer won't come as a surprise to the more active-minded of our men's issue sphere, and the answer, of course, is gynocentrism. That's the real problem. I'm seeing more entities give serious talk about the problems men face and the antagonistic role feminism plays in it. As of late, I've made a point to follow and pay attention to what these entities are saying. I'm not here to name names because there will be a lot, and I'm not primarily here to talk about those on an individual basis right now. While on the whole these sources are accurate, it's not the whole story. Some of them straight up don't mention the word gynocentrism, let alone recognize it as a problem. Ironically enough, too many of those opposing feminism by name make the mistake of thinking that it was ever any good, that it was ever anything other than a male demonizing engine. What's more, they make the gynocentric mistake by emphasizing that feminism has harmed women more than it has men. Has feminism harmed women? Of course, it's a statement of truth. But in my mind, not more than it has harmed men, especially since men are the target to destroy or to subjugate. I would like to challenge groups speaking on men's and boys' behalf to bring up the topic of gynocentrism. Just say gynocentrism. Recognize it as something we have to talk about. Because in a hypothetical situation where we wake up one day and feminism, at least in terms of its power, was wiped off clean of the map, clean of the globe, gynocentrism will still remain not dealt with. So first, say gynocentrism. Bring it to light. Then immediately, I will challenge them to say anti-gynocentrism. By this I mean, recognize gynocentrism as a problem. Because it will not be enough just to say gynocentrism. Far too many, even in the men's issues and anti-feminist spheres, seem to think that gynocentrism is not a problem, or worse, they think gynocentrism is evolutionarily natural. A word they like to use is hardwired. Those who do not say gynocentrism in their men's advocacy tend to accidentally commit this without naming it. They rely on biological differences as a justification of the notion that men are meant to be more disposable or must service the female of the species. Those who recognize the term gynocentrism but use the hardwiring argument as a crutch take a more defeatist position, that this is an unsolvable problem because it is baked into our nature. I'm going to tell you right now that gynocentrism is not natural to the human species, and males are not hardwired to serve and die for females. This will piss plenty of people off, and they will accuse me of being a science denier or a social constructionist or whatever. But let's take a look at what gynocentrism is. Rules, habits, customs, and attitudes that require males to subordinate their dignity, property, time, and resources for the sake of the female of the species, just because the males are the males and the females are the females. Is a relationship between vassal and royalty due to an arbitrary, mystical, divine providence, as told in the drivel that is the romantic narrative. It is a requisition that the male sacrifice his sense of self-ownership for the female that is simultaneously a superior force and too fragile and non-accountable and imperfect so as to elicit male coddling at the same time. These are the qualities of social conditioning. Evolutionary psychologists fall into presentist errors because the motive of presenting gynocentrism as the natural, inescapable, and worst of all, desirable state of affairs for humanity is in itself a symptom of the gynocentric conditioning. They try to please women and get on their good side lest they incur the wrath of females pitting against their cowardly lack of constitution. Gynocentrism is not hardwired because it is by design improper for the human species for it to be hardwired. The word is misused for sure. Hardwiring is for things essential to the human animal that can't be deprogrammed. What we can say, however, is that gynocentrism is softwired. By this I mean, it has been a form of modular programming that has been drilled into us since our early age. Girls learn non-accountability and princess-like expectations for the most part, and boys get the opposite. For those who say that gynocentrism is necessary for species survival, it can be argued that the male of the species is absolutely indispensable for maintaining the infrastructure to keep the babies alive. Females alone are not the key to human survival. The one father, multiple mothers hypothesis that gynocentrists like to bring up is an asinine hypothesis. Females need not have been worshipped for the species to live and survive. So yes, gynocentrism is social conditioning, and as such, it can be deconditioned. Logic and morality is what is necessary to do so, as well as determination, having one's own visions, and pursuits of truth. As gynocentrism demands subordination of visions and determination to female ends, we can consider gynocentrism a disease of the mind. So, not only can we deprogram ourselves from gynocentrism if we choose to, it turns out that it's imperative that we must. Why was gynocentrism implemented then? The ever-evolving story of collective control by parasites. Humanity was born to be free and uses mind to break away from the mundanity of other animals. Humanity only subjugates this when they are resentful of the free and instead prefer to control and live through others to justify their existence. Men, as prime movers that build civilization, were marked for subjugation. I don't think this is natural. So to summarize and conclude, gynocentrism is the more overarching problem facing our world and not merely feminism. The only worthwhile anti-feminism is anti-gynocentrism, because too many anti-feminists appeal to gynocentrism by accident or by design. Gynocentrism is not hardwired because it is not necessary for survival of self or for the species. Gynocentrism is socially trained and can be untrained, and we must untrain. Reject gynocentrism. Thank you. Anyway, folks, thinking about doing some more videos more regularly this year. Let me know what kind of thing you want to see me do. Obviously, I'm still going to keep up with the goalpost, and I got some videos in mind. I'm thinking about streaming again. I know I've done like 2 streams of my own, but I don't know, maybe I'll do some kind of video game playthrough or something while I talk about this, that, or the other. Watching some streams by people like This Is Shaw has been pretty invigorating, inspiring me to kind of take up streaming myself or something like that. I know some people have requested that the goalpost be streamed, but that's kind of impossible at the moment because the time frame when we do it, and we prefer to have some things edited where necessary. So, but anyway, let me know if there's any feedback on the meat of this video or whatever else you want to see from me. Thanks. I want to try and see if I can get my subscribe star in a supportable state again. Hopefully something good will come out of it. All right, later.